Hello children. Yesterday we have discussed about the microbes in household products. So today let us discuss about the microbes in industrial products. You know the importance of microbes in the industrial products. So varieties of microbes, they synthesize many products which are used economically by the human beings. Among them, beverages and antibiotics are very popular. Fine. Beverages and antibiotics are very popular, and these are produced through the fermentation process. They are produced in large quantities in the industries in big vessels which are called fermenter or bioreactors. And this downstreaming process you have studied in botany. So what do you mean by downstream processing? It is the name given to a stage after fermentation when the desired product is recovered and purified. That is, during the fermentation we will get the chemicals. Fine. Those chemicals, when we will get the desired chemicals, there only the fermentation process will be held and the product is recovered and purified. That process is called as downstream process. And here in the diagram you are able to see the fermenters, or you can say bioreactors. Fine. Let me go further. So beverages, let me go to the beverages. See the beverages, these are the common, I mean day to day we are using beverages in our life like coffee and tea. They are also the products which are used through the fermentation of the tea leaves and the coffee seeds, which usually we will drink in our daily life. Apart from this, many other beverages are there which contain mainly alcohol. So Louis Pasteur, about the Louis Pasteur you have studied. So who has shown as the pasteurization? That is, milk can be kept without spoiling by boiling it at 60 degrees Celsius, and then suddenly we can cool, so that in that milk the microbes will not grow for longer time. And this process was shown by Louis Pasteur. So Louis Pasteur, he has shown that beer and buttermilk, these are the products of fermentation which are brought about by the yeast. About the yeast already you have studied. Yeast, it is a very important microbe which is used in the food industry, especially in the bakery and also in the industries for the production of the ethanol. So this Saccharomyces cerevisiae or yeast, it is a single celled organism, fungi, fine, and it is used in the industries in large scale, and it is also used in the production of some of the alcohol content drink like wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, rum. So these are commonly seen brands. So this Saccharomyces cerevisiae, it is asked, I told it is already asked in the annual exam, the scientific name of the yeast. So all these are the fermented beverages which are produced through the yeast. So in the fermented beverages, what all beverages you have to remember? You have to remember about the alcoholic drinks like wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, rum, and also tea and coffee. Fine. Now let me go to the next one. So these alcohol content drinks, they are produced from the different products like malted cereals and the fruit juices. They are fermented to get the ethanol. Wine and beer, they are produced without distillation. See, in these beverages you will get two types of beverages like distilled beverages and non-distilled beverages. So wine and beer, these are produced without distillation. Distillation process you have studied in the chemistry. In the chemistry you have studied the distillation process. And whiskey, brandy, rum, these are produced by the distillation of fermented broth. What do you mean by broth? Already you have studied in evolution. It is a mixture of sugar and the yeast. So these are allowed to ferment to get the different graded drinks. So these all alcoholic drinks contain different amount of alcohol. They contain the different amount of alcohol. So here we have a list of certain drinks which have got different percentage of alcohol. Like beer, it has got 4 to 8% of alcohol and it is produced from the barley malt. Wine, it is produced from the grapes and it contains 10 to 20% of alcohol. Brandy, it contains mainly 43 to 57% of alcohol, nearly you can say 60% of alcohol, and it is produced through the distillation of wine. And you know, wine is a grape juice, fermented grape juice. When you will get the distilled product of the wine, then it is called brandy. Gin, it is produced from the European rye, and rum, it is produced from the molasses of the sugar cane, which contain 40% of the alcohol. So these are the different beverages which are usually used in certain occasions. So these drinks are legally permitted. These drinks are legally permitted. They have got even a harmful effect on the body. Then also they are permitted, which are used in certain occasions in the society. And these drinks, especially the grape juice, a fermented grape juice, it is used by the it is I mean in the human society it is used right from the ancient time. After the war, when the soldiers used to get tired too much, at that time they used to drink these fermented juices to get relaxed. But nowadays the people are consuming it as a passion, which is very bad. Now let me go to the next one. Antibiotics. The antibiotic is also one of the industrial product which is having high demand. So this antibiotic term, it was coined by Salman Waxman. Salman Waxman, he coined the term antibiotic in 1942. So these antibiotics, they are produced from the microorganisms. They are the byproduct of microorganisms. And a little quantity of antibiotic is sufficient to inhibit the growth of certain harmful microbes which causes diseases, which causes harm to the host. So these antibiotics, they are produced by certain microorganisms. They can kill or they can stop the growth of harmful microbes. Fine. So for the first time, this antibiotic was discovered by a scientist called Alexander Fleming. You can see the photograph of Alexander Fleming on the side of the slide. So Alexander Fleming, he discovered penicillin accidentally. So this penicillin, it is a product of Penicillium notatum, a fungi. So that just we will see his story, how accidentally he discovered penicillin in the next slide. So Alexander Fleming, he was working with Staphylococci bacteria in his laboratory. For some reason, it is usually heard story that for some reason he went out of station for some 8 to 10 days. 8 days he went out of station. So he observed after coming back that some of the unwashed culture plates were left in the sink, and the Staphylococci bacteria, they did not grow in some of the petri plates. Fine. And when he studied carefully, why these Staphylococci bacteria did not grow in certain culture plates. So when he studied in detail, he found that certain fungi were there beside that which did not allow these Staphylococci to grow. And after study, he came to know that those fungi are the Penicillium notatum. Those fungi are the Penicillium notatum. They did not allow these Staphylococci bacteria to grow. Then he analyzed that the secretion of these Penicillium notatum, they did not allow Staphylococci bacteria to grow. That is, they inhibited, they stopped the growth of these bacteria. Fine, they stopped the growth of these bacteria. Then he analyzed this, that the byproduct of Penicillium notatum did not allow the growth of Staphylococci. Fine. And thus the antibiotic was discovered. And these antibiotics are used against certain dreadful diseases like plague, whooping cough, leprosy, malaria, etc. So these antibiotics, they have got certain properties. That is, some are broad spectrum and some are narrow spectrum antibiotics. Broad spectrum antibiotics, they are functional against a wide variety of disease causing microbes like penicillin, amoxicillin, fine. And narrow spectrum antibiotics are those antibiotics which act on a specific microbes. They will not act on wide varieties. That is about the narrow spectrum antibiotics. Fine. Well, and these antibiotics will act only on the microbes which are harmful to the host. The name itself says, anti against biotic life, bio life. These are not against the life of the host of the human body. You can say human body, fine. But they are against the life of those organisms which causes the disease. That is how the name antibiotic. Fine. What do you mean by antibiotic? These are the chemical which work against the life of a disease causing organisms. Fine. And they are effective against the strains of certain pathogenic microbes, and they give quick relief. Their action is very fast. So that is about the antibiotic. Now let me go to the next one. See, the next industrial products like chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. So here the microbes are used in the production of organic acids, certain enzymes and bioactive molecules. Of course, alcohols also. So here we have got certain examples. Like in the first we have taken the citric acid. Citric acid, it has got its own importance in the food industry as well as in the chemical industries. You know, in the food industry, citric acid is used as a preservative. So such a citric acid, it is produced by the use of a fungi called Aspergillus niger. You have to remember the product and the microbe. You have to remember the product and the microbe. So Aspergillus niger will help in the production of the citric acid. Now, acetic acid, it is produced by a bacterium called Acetobacter aceti, and butyric acid, it is produced from Clostridium botulicum. It is produced from Clostridium botulicum. And yeast, it produces alcohol, especially ethanol. Scientific name of the yeast, already you know. What are the other names of the yeast? Scientific name is Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Fine. Other names of the yeast is brewer's yeast and baker's yeast. So lactobacillus, it produces lactic acid. So what all chemicals? 4 chemicals, and you have to remember the 4 chemicals and their byproduct. Fine. What are they? Acetobacter aceti produces acetic acid. Aspergillus niger produces citric acid. Clostridium botulicum produces butyric acid. Yeast produces ethanol. Lactobacillus produces lactic acid. So these are some examples of the microbes which will help in the production of the chemicals, which will play a very important in the chemical industries. Now let me go to the next. Here just you will see the images of certain microbes like fungi, you will see bacteria, you will see yeast, you will see. Fine. Let me go to the next. So here we have got certain enzymes which are produced by the microbes. Like we have got lipases, pectinases and proteases and streptokinase. These are the 3 enzymes which are produced by the action of the microbes. Now lipase, it is used in the laundry in detergent formulation. So these lipases, they help in removing the oil stains which will occur on the cloth. Fine. So lipase, it is an enzyme which is used in the detergent formulation in the laundries to remove the stains which will occur on the cloths. Pectinases and proteases. So these are the enzymes which are used as clearing agents in the juice industry in bottled fruit juices. You know, the juices when you prepare in the home, it contain a pulp. It will be not clear. So on the screen you will be able to see the 2 bottles. In one you will see a cloudy juice and in one you will see a clear juice. First, when you extract juice from the fruit, that juice will contain pulp. It is not so clear. After processing that juice with the help of pectinases and proteases, the pulp will get digested. You will get a clear juice. So thus with the help of pectinases and proteases, you will get clear juice. So it is used as, that is pectinases and proteases are used as clearing agent in the bottled fruit juices. Next one is a streptokinase. This streptokinase is also called as clot buster. It is also called as clot buster, which is produced by Streptococcus bacteria. So this streptokinase is used to remove the clot which will occur in the blood vessels. So usually the person who will suffer with myocardial infarction, which leads to the heart attack, will be having clots in the blood vessels. So to remove these blood clots, streptokinase is used. So here you can see the clot which is forming in the blood vessels, and to clear these clots the streptokinase is used, which is helpful in preventing the heart diseases in the human beings. So in the enzymes, what all enzymes you are remembering? You are remembering lipase, pectinases and proteases and streptokinase. Lipase, it is an enzyme which is used in the laundries in detergent formulation. What is the use? It helps to remove the oil stains. Pectinases and proteases, where it is used? It is used in the juice industry. It is used as clearing agent in the bottled fruit juices. Streptokinase, it is used as a clot buster to remove the clots from the blood vessels. Fine. Now let me go to the next. Next, we have bioactive molecules. Bioactive molecules, the name itself indicates, these are the molecules which are biologically very active. Two examples we have got here, that is cyclosporin A and statin. Cyclosporin A, it is produced from a microbe called Trichoderma polysporum. It is produced from a microbe called Trichoderma polysporum. Fine. And this cyclosporin A is used as immunosuppressive agent. It is used as immunosuppressive agents in those patients who have undergone organ transplantation. You know that the Dr. Murray has got, he did a successful kidney transplantation in the human beings. So the kidney, you already have studied that the body can recognize self and non-self organs. So when a person's kidney fails totally, when it fails to do the function, at that time the alternate method is the kidney transplantation and the dialysis. So you can prefer for the kidney transplantation. So when the kidney is transplanted, the body will not accept it. It will treat it as a foreign body, non-self body. Thus the body cells, T lymphocytes, will start killing that organ. To prevent the action of the immune system of the body, immune suppressive agents are given so that the organ which is transplanted can be saved. So that immunosuppressive agent is the cyclosporin A. After organ transplantation, the person's immune power will become very, very weak, as he'll be continuously on the immunosuppressive agents. When body will accept it, then the immune system can be strengthened by treatment. So that is about the cyclosporin A. Now statin. So this statin, it is used to reduce the blood cholesterol level in the body. Blood cholesterol level, you know that the bad cholesterol, if it will get collected in the body, it leads to many disorders. So to remove that, the statin is used. Such a statin is prepared from yeast fungi, which is called Monascus purpureus. Statin is prepared from a microbe which is called Monascus purpureus. It is used to reduce the blood cholesterol level. Thus, it is also called as blood cholesterol lowering agent. It actually inhibits the enzyme which is responsible for the production of the cholesterol. So these are the two bioactive molecules which will play a very important role. What are those two? Cyclosporin A, produced from the Trichoderma polysporum, which is used as an immunosuppressive agent after organ transplantation in the patients. Statin, it is a blood cholesterol lowering agent which is produced from a fungi called Monascus purpureus. You have to remember this. These are the questions which are asked in the annual exam. Now let me go to the next slide. So next we have got a microbes in CVH treatment. Now today let me just say you the definition of CVH. CVH, it is a municipal waste water which contain large amount of human excreta. It contains large amount of organic matter, and that organic matter is nothing but CVH. You can see the diagram. You know, here in the CVH, large amount of water is wasted, and that water can't be let into the natural water bodies as it contains the organic waste. spread many of the diseases and it pollute the water body. That is why it is left after the treatment. After it is treated in a treatment plants, then it is left in the water body. So that is why this is usually treated with the help of a heterotrophic microbes. That is, different types of microbes will help in the treatment of the CVH. There is no alternate method is there for the CVH treatment than these microbes. They are the best resource for CVH treatment. So the CVH is treated in a CVH treatment plant, which is treated under 2 steps. So CVH treatment, it is carried out in 2 stages: primary treatment and secondary treatment. So primary treatment, it is a physical process. Primary treatment, it is a physical process where the sewage water is allowed to pass through the tank, which is covered with different size wire meshes. So here the suspended particles are removed, like the cloths, leaves, polythenes. They are removed. Fine. So first it is removed, especially that is floating debris, what you say. They are removed through the sequential filtration tanks, and then it is allowed for the sedimentation. When after the filtration of the sewage water by using different size wire meshes, the floating debris will be removed. Then that water is sent to the settling tank. That water is sent to the sedimentation tank. There water is kept without disturbance for many days. It depends on the quantity of the water. If large quantity of water is there, then the sedimentation is allowed for several days. If small quantity is there, 8 to 10 days it is allowed. When water is allowed to stand in a bigger sedimentation tank, the solid waste will get settled at the bottom and a clear water will stand on the top. The top water which is standing on the waste is called effluent. It is called supernatant water, or it is also called effluent. Primary effluent. Fine. The sediment which will get settled at the bottom is called as primary sludge. It is called as primary sludge. This primary effluent is taken for the secondary treatment. The primary effluent is taken for the secondary treatment. And the primary sludge, which contain mainly the grit, that is used as a filling in the land, and wherever the small ditches will be there, to make that ground even, this primary sludge is used as a filling material. Now what you have studied in the CVH treatment, what do you mean by it is a 5-mark question. Fine. So if the primary treatment will be asked, it is for 2 marks, and secondary treatment is for 3 marks. So what is CVH? It is a municipal waste water with a large amount of organic waste. And in the organic waste, what is present in large quantity? Human excreta. So this sewage water can't be let directly into the water bodies. Why? Because it contains large number of microbes which will pollute the water and causes many diseases to the society. Then it is where it is treated? It is treated in the CVH treatment plant under 2 stages. What are those 2 stages? Primary treatment and the secondary treatment. Fine. So about 2 marks you must be able to write for the primary treatment. What is primary treatment? Primary CVH treatment, it is a treatment where water is treated physically. So first, what is done? The water is passed through a sequential tanks which contain different size meshes, wire meshes, jali. So in that, what will be done? The floating debris, whatever they are, which are suspended in the sewage water, they are removed. Then next, it is passed through the primary sedimentation tank. What is done in the primary sedimentation tank? The water is allowed to stand for many days. It depends upon the quantity of the water. When water will stand for many days, the solid waste will get settled at the bottom, and on the top the water we will see a clear water. That supernatant water is called as primary effluent. That primary effluent is taken for the secondary sewage treatment, and the grit which will get settled down in the primary sedimentation tank, it is called primary sludge. And that primary sludge, it is used as a filling in the land. Now tomorrow, next class, let us see the secondary treatment of water. Hope you are understanding and understood. Fine, children.